Shalom, Salakia for the interruption. Gonna just get right back to the media review here. So here's the Operation Warp Speed emblem. It's got that triskelion. And then we found some more triskelions over here in Bill Cooper's book, Behold a Pale Horse, right? There it is, right? And do a little bit more study into that symbol. It just is more and more revealing of things. The covering cast being lifted, that veil, so that we might be able to see the truth, all right? I got a little excerpt here from a book called New Lies for Old by Anatoly Golitsyn, an ex-KGB officer, warns how communist deception threatens the survival of the West. So get into the beginning of the book, all right? What's it about? Disinformation, patterns of disinformation, 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 okay? New role of intelligence. Okay, intelligence, methodologies, disinformation. All of this third, fourth, fifth disinformation. Okay. Eighth disinformation. Final phase, the takeover. Okay. So this is a good book. New Lies for Old. There's nothing new under the sun. Okay. It's all just the same struggle down here in the host body system, wrestling that demon all the damn time. But I'm just going to read this first little blurb here. The disinformation program has played a significant role in the successful realization of the communist strategies. A study of the available communist and Western evidence reveals the existence of at least 6 interlocking strategies for the furtherance of communism along the lines dictated by this long-range policy. The first strategy relates to the activities of communist parties in the advanced industrial countries. Its essence is the use of various tactics such as Eurocommunism, the deliberate display of an image of a responsible independent party to establish unity of action with social democrats and Catholics in Europe, and to create a neutral socialist Europe tilted toward the communist side. The strategy envisages 3 periods. In the first period, the communists seek temporary allies among the social democrats, the trade unionists, and the Catholics, including moderates and the conservatives who could be brought into play against any alliance with the United States. In the second part, the conservatives are eliminated and social democrats become the principal allies in a neutral socialist Europe. In the final period, the communists take the necessary steps for the complete takeover. All right? But look at the first strategy up here. Relates to the activities of communist parties in advanced industrial countries. So that's why in this, we've got energy companies, Texaco, Exxon, Industry, Deere, IBM, Amtrak, Board of International Broadcasting, Chrysler, GM, Ford, General Electric, okay? You know, these people are part of a conquest. They're on a conquest. The bottom line is they're on a conquest. What else we got over here? This is from page 317 of William Cooper's book, Behold a Pale Horse. This is the Protocols of Zion. Protocol 18 says, when it becomes necessary for us to strengthen the strict measures of secret defense, the most fatal poison for the prestige of authority, we shall arrange a simulation of disorders or some manifestation of discontents finding expression through the cooperation of good speakers. Round these speakers will assemble all who are sympathetic to his utterances. This will give us the pretext for domiciliary perquisitions and surveillance on the part of our servants from among the number of the Goyim police. As the authority of conspirators, as the majority of the conspirators act out of love for the game, for the sake of talking, so, until they commit some overt act, we shall not lay a finger on them, but only introduce into their midst observation elements. It must be remembered that the prestige of authority is lessened if it frequently discovers conspiracies against itself. This implies a presumption of consciousness of weakness, or what is still worse, of injustice. You are aware that you have broken the prestige of the Goy kings by frequent attempts upon their lives through our agents, blind sheep of our flock, who are easily moved by a few liberal phrases to crimes provided only they be painted in political colors. We have compelled the rulers to acknowledge their weakness in advertising covert measures of secret defense, and thereby we shall bring the promise of authority to destruction. Okay, our ruler will be secretly protected only by the most insignificant guard, because we shall not admit so much as a thought that there could exist against him any sedition with which he is not strong enough to contend and is compelled to hide from it. And if he should admit his thought, as the Goyim have done and are doing, we should ipso facto be signing a death sentence, if not for our ruler, at any rate for his dynasty, at no distant date. According to strictly enforced outward appearances, our ruler will employ his power only for the advantage of the nation and in no wise for his own or dynastic profits. Okay, so take a look at Trump. Okay, what is he there for? Okay, he was there for the agenda. And the agenda is this. Okay? Therefore, with the observance of this decorum, his authority will be respected and guarded by the subjects themselves. So, that's why you ended up voting. It will receive an apotheosis in the admission that with it is bound up the well-being of every citizen of the state, for upon it will depend all order in the common life of the peg. Okay? So, that's your leaders. Put in place, selected, not elected. All right? This thing about to get wrapped up. And with that, let me get some scriptures now. Okay? Triskelion. Medusa's head. Also had to do with like Poseidon, I think. All right, let's see where we at here. Scriptures. I'm going to get the book of Micah 6 and 9. Micah 6 and 9. The Lord's voice crieth unto the city, and the man of wisdom shall see thy name. Hear ye the rod, and who hath appointed it? Are there yet the treasures of wickedness in the house of the wicked, and the scant measure that is abominable? Shall I count them pure with the wicked balances, and with the bag of deceitful weights? Nope, because Proverbs 11 says a false balance is an abomination to the Lord. Not an imbalance, a false balance, where you have something faking that it's gold on one side, and then faking that it's the measures of weights on the other side. Okay, it has to do with deception. Verse 12, for the rich men thereof are full of violence, and the inhabitants thereof have spoken lies, and their tongue is deceitful in their mouth. Therefore also will I take thee sick in smiting thee, in making thee desolate because of thy sins. So we have kept on consenting. We've kept on voting. We've kept on going down to Egypt for help. All right? Thou shalt eat, but not be satisfied, and thy casting down shall be in the midst of thee, and thou shalt take hold, but shalt not deliver, and that which thou deliverest will I give up to the sword. That thou, or Salakia, verse 15, thou shalt sow, but thou shalt not reap. Thou shalt tread the olives, but thou shalt not anoint thee with oil, and sweet wine, but shalt not drink wine. For the statutes of Omri are kept, and all the works of the house of Ahab, and ye walk in their counsels, that I should make thee a desolation, and the inhabitants thereof in hissing. Therefore ye shall bear the reproach of my people. Okay, and Omri was an Israelite king before Ahab, and I believe both those kings was wicked. I could be wrong, but just double check your own research. All right, it's the book of Job, chapter 20, 19. Now, we already established in Job that the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. All right? Job 20:19, because he hath oppressed and hath forsaken the poor, because he hath violently taken away an house which he builded not. Surely he shall not feel quietness in his belly. He shall not save of that which he desired. There shall none of his meat be left, therefore no man shall look for his goods. In the fullness of his sufficiency he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. All right, in the fullness of his sufficiency. That means they then got the microchip. They got the whole world industrial, medical, military complex all under control and on lock. All right, but you also got to remember that we're dealing with a kingdom that's made out of iron and clay. Like, they're all just going to be, not agreeing in agreement with each other, and then they're going to get destroyed by the rock that comes out the sky. All right, in the fullness of his sufficiency he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. When he is about to fill his belly, God shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. All right, and there's nowhere to run from the Lord's judgment, which we see. All right, let's get this Psalms chapter 17, starting in verse 8. Keep me as the apple of the eye, hide me under the shadow of thy wings, from the wicked that oppress me, from my deadly enemies who compass me about. They are enclosed in their own fat, with their mouth they speak proudly. They are enclosed with their own fat. Viruses are encapsulated in a lipid. Okay, we're dealing with a walking, living virus that is these heathens. With their mouth they speak proudly. That's where you got Bill Gates up there waving his freaking hands all around, talking about everybody just good vaccines and blah, 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 And meanwhile, through all this COVID nonsense, they then put up all their 5G towers, and Bill Gates is the biggest farmer in America. Come on, man. They are enclosed in their own fat. With their mouth they speak proudly, and you're protected in fat. All the laws and statutes and policies that they just keep, that's their fat that they just keep building around themselves. Verse 11, they have now compassed us in our steps. Every step you take, they gon' carbon tax your breath. They have set their eyes bowing down to the earth, like as a lion that is greedy of his prey, and as it were a young lion lurking in secret places. All right, they have set their eyes bowing down to the earth. Why? Because they're watching us from their satellites all the time. Constant surveillance, all right? How many satellites did Elon Musk put up into the sky in 2019? Go research that. Verse 13. Oh, let me go back up to verse 12. They lurking in secret places. All right, you can't find these people. They ain't walking around down in your city on the main hedges and highways and the main concourses. No, that's where all the slaves are. Okay, they're not going to go down there and deal with slaves. They're up hiding, lurking in some secret place. Namely their top of their high rises, looking down like the eagle cave dwellers that they are. Verse 13, arise, O Lord, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. Okay, and I don't know about y'all, but I'm tired of being lied to. I'm tired of being oppressed. This is the book of Nahum, chapter 4. This is the book of Nahum, chapter 4. First, let me get this picture, man. Where's the other picture I had? Oh, man. I had the picture of the well-favored harlot, but, I guess I had to work on my media storage. Oh, that's right. It was in here. There we go. The triskelion, weirdos ruling over us. Okay. And there's old Bill holding on a dark-skinned baby. Look at the look on his face. And this is a screenshot from a brother's page. The page is called Children of It's Real Out Here. Okay, shalom out to you, Jahi. Shalom. And there she goes. The woman that rides the beast. The well-favored harlot. And that's a whole nother lesson to get into. But for now, I'm just going to stick to this. All right. Nahum chapter 3 and verse 4. Because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcrafts that selleth nations, through her whoredoms and families, through her witchcrafts, behold, I am against thee, saith the Lord of hosts, and I will uncover thy skirts upon thy face, and I will show the nations thy nakedness, and the kingdoms thy shame. I will cast abominable filth upon thee, and make thee vile, and will set thee as a gazing stock. And it shall come to pass that all they that look upon thee shall flee from thee, and say, Nineveh is laid to waste. Who will bemoan her? Whence shall I seek comforters for thee? All right, and this is talking about our nation, Israel. But how much worse the other nations is going to get it, huh? All right. And with that, I'm going to say shalom until the next one. I think I'm going to do a quick movie review on my next one. Call Halal Yahweh Bashem Yahushua and Abad Babal.